Hello students, this is Seema Singh, your S.St teacher. Students, we will start our new chapter Women Change the World in Civics. Women in India. We saw in the previous chapter how women's work in the home is not recognized as work. You also know how doing household work and taking care of family members is a full-time job and there are no specific hours at which it begins or ends. Now, we will look at their work outside the home. There is no doubt that we are in the midst of a great revolution in the history of women. The evidence is everywhere. Constitutional rights for women. The Constitution of India guarantee equality. A woman can go to court if one is subjected to any discrimination. The most important issues stand as house pertaining to marriage, children, abortion, crimes against women and inheritance. Women's constitution to the economy. Although most women in India work and contribute to the economy in one form or another, much of their work is not documented and accounted for in official statistics. Women plug fields and harvest crops while working on farms. Women weave and make handicrafts while working in household industries. Women sell food and gather wood while working in the informal sectors. The informal sectors include jobs as a domestic servant, small traders, or field laborers, or a family farms. Most of these jobs are unskilled and low paying and do not provide high benefits to the workers. Women have now not only found their place in workplaces but are also party of governments. Women have been given representation in the Panchayati Raj system as a sign of political empowerment. Women in the informal sector. Working in India's informal sectors, the Self-Employed Women Association, SEWA, is helping thousands of women meet their business need. Most women work in informal sector depend on the substances agriculture for their livelihood. Some women also take to work from home. They do not earn but whatever they earn adds to family resources. Little girls are sent as domestic helps to work in the homes of rich peoples which needs to be eradicated. Sometimes girls below the age of 15 work in match factories. They work more than 15 hours a day. Women constitute the majority of the world's poor. Barriers to business. Some of the barriers that self-employed women encounter includes number 1, laws and customs that discriminate against women. Number 2, insufficient access to credit. Number 3, lack of social benefits like health insurance and pensions. Lack of affordable childcare. Next, inadequate health care. Lack of education and training. Insufficient knowledge about export markets. Meeting financial, social, and training needs. Students, several organizations within the group have grown up in response to an identified need, such as Seva Bank, one of the group's largest cooperative with over 125,000 members. Women in the formal sectors. The choice of job for women both in the formal and the informal sectors is restricted to the lowly paid one. In offices, women are mostly employed as clerk and secretarial work. This is both public sectors and private sectors undertaking. In the field of informatics, women do work that is to a large extent related to secretarial jobs. Very few women have broken buttons in the enter of boardrooms. Challenges faced by women in India. Women in India are faced with lot of challenges. Men do not share on most of household chores. There are women who have to cook, clean the house, do the dishes, wash clothes, get their children ready for school. Men just take care of few chores that are to be dealt outside the houses. So the major burden of running the family is on the shoulder of women. Beginning of feminist movement in India. Unlike the Western feminist movement, India's movement was initiated by women, men, and later joined by women. Some of the most influential men involved were Raja Ram Mohan Roy, Dr. Bhimrao Ambedkar, Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar. The efforts of these men include abolish sati, which was the widow's death by burning for her husbands. Women movements center. Women and girls now have the right to study and go to school. There are other spheres like legal reforms, violence, and health where the situation of women and girls have improved. Women individually and collectively have struggled to bring about these changes. The struggle is known as the women movement. Individually, women and women organizations for the different parts of the country are part of movement. Different strategies have been used to spread awareness for fight discrimination and seek justice, like campaigning, raising awareness, protesting. Modernization. Modern influence are affecting the younger generations in the part of India, where girls are beginning to forego the more traditional way of India life and break gender stereotype. The country is still severely male dominated and unwelcoming to such movements that go against sex and gender traditions in India. Thank you, student.